New Cyber Dragons plus unique fusion spell cards are coming to the Rush Dueling format, and I for one cannot wait. So let's talk about it right here and right now. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're not wasting any more time, we're jumping straight into the discussion relating to the Cyber Dragon archetype and them coming to the Rush Dueling format via the Overrush booster set. Now first and foremost, I really like the Cyber Dragon archetype, so seeing this happen is awesome, and the amount of support that we're getting seems to be really good at the minute. Obviously, the final boss fusion monster, Cyber End Dragon, is coming, which, correct me if I'm wrong, this makes it the first card in the Rush Dueling format to require 3 fusion materials to be summoned. And of course it's keeping its piercing ability, which is understandable, because gaining piercing in Rush Duels is really easy, so why change this effect? Nevertheless though, a 4000 attack point monster with piercing is still a massive asset to your deck, therefore I can see it getting a lot of usage in the future. Also, we can't forget about Cyber Twin Dragon, as this card is also being added and keeping its twin attacking ability, which is pretty cool and useful. Now all these cards in this video look amazing in terms of their card design, but these two fusions especially, I love the way they're popping right out of their card frames. It's got such an amazing design, I cannot wait to try and pull these cards in the future, if and when Rush Dueling comes to the UK. Now it's worth noting that these two fusion powerhouses are not legend cards, instead Power Bond is. That's right, we can now fusion summon using Power Bond, and this spell card continues to get more insane as we know the effects of Power Bond, right? Of course, we can fusion summon using it, and the machine monster we fusion summon into gains attack points based on its original attack value, and at the end of the turn we lose life points. We get that. However, it's still allowing us to use materials that are both on the field and in our hand, making it so it's a lot easier to bring out your Cyber Twin Dragon or your Cyber End Dragon or whatever Cyber Dragon monster or machine fusion monster you're trying to bring out. And of course, we can defer that Cyber Dragon is coming to the Rush Dueling format, and the fact that that card isn't a legend card means you can have 3 Cyber Dragons in your deck at one time. With this knowledge as well, that Power Bond being a unique fusion spell card is a legend card, I think it's safe to assume that other sort of unique fusion spell cards based on a certain archetype, like Ancient Gear Fusion, could be also legend cards to kind of help balance things out and to make it so you can't have 3 copies of each in a deck to make it overpowered and, broken for the format. So I'll keep my eyes open for the future to see if that ends up being true. Nevertheless though, seeing Power Bond back is just awesome. So yeah, obviously Twin, Cyber End, Power Bond, Cyber Dragon are all in Rush Duels now, and we've been gifted even more. Obviously, Proto-Cyber Dragon is going to be coming, and the fact that this is added to Rush Duels is useful because we can use it in a Cyber Dragon deck, making it more viable, and it's a card that you're realistically going to have like 2 to 3 copies of because it's easy to use and it's decent. But a new fusion card has been revealed, Cyber Rush Dragon. You need 2 Cyber Dragons to fusion summon in order to bring this monster out, but the requirements, your opponent has to have a monster on their field. The effect, draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, and then discard 4. After which, you can special summon 1 machine type monster from your hand to your field. Now this effect is great, as you can replenish your hand while also getting rid of some potential cards that have graveyard effects, or just simply boost the chances of triggering effects of other cards later on in the duel. For example, if you have 7's Road Magician in your deck, because you've got like a 7's Road and Cyber Dragon hybrid, for whatever reason, you can basically use this effect, draw your 5 cards. If you've got, say, a fire attribute and a wind attribute from that 5 cards that you drew, put those in your graveyard because they're not useful for you now. But then later on, if your Cyber Dragons haven't finished off your opponent, you can bring 7's Road Magician out, use his effect more effectively because you've got more attributes in your graveyard. On top of that, we can't forget about the second added effect of this monster, in the fact is you can special summon any machine type monster from your hand to your field. This is awesome, and I cannot wait to see and test play this monster in the future. And of course, the support keeps on rolling as we have Cyber Assault Dragon, a new card added to Rush Duels. And basically, you can tribute summon this card in attack position by tributing one face-up Cyber Dragon monster. Requirements: place one Cyber Dragon from your graveyard to the top of the deck. The effect: destroy one face-up level 8 or lower monster with 2,400 attack or more on your opponent's side of the field. Now, needing to tribute a Cyber Dragon might seem costly at first, but remember, while on the field, Proto-Cyber Dragon calls itself a Cyber Dragon, so realistically you are going to have at least 2 or 3 of these monsters in your deck, so the chance of you kind of using this as tribute material is going to be quite often and quite easy. In addition, getting to destroy your opponent's monsters, which is level 8 or higher or lower, with 2,400 attack points or more, basically you can say goodbye drag ears, goodbye whatever meets the requirements on your opponent's side of the field that's annoying you. But yeah, the condition requirements, so to speak, for this effect could be trickier to actually meet, because you need a Cyber Dragon to return from your graveyard to the top of your deck, and unfortunately when Proto-Cyber Dragon goes to the graveyard, I don't think it keeps the name Cyber Dragon, so you'll have to kind of work a way around that. Nevertheless though, we come to the final new support card in this video, Cyber Entry, a spell card with the following requirements: you have to have 3 or more light machine monsters in your graveyard. They don't need to be Cyber Dragons, they just need to be light machine. Its effect: special summon one Cyber Dragon or Proto-Cyber Dragon from your hand or graveyard face up to your side of the field. This turn, you can only attack with light machine monsters. Now, this card can help you fusion summon into other cards, or it can allow you to bring out a Proto or Cyber Dragon to your field, and that would be useful in getting Cyber Assault Dragon onto your field. Either way, the spell card will and can be useful to you in any and pretty much all situations, so it's worth having in your deck if you're going to build a Cyber Dragon deck in Rush Dueling. Now currently, that's all we know and have, but the real takeaway from this is the fact that we are getting more archetype, unique fusion spell cards and in the Rush Dueling format, making it so that we have better cases for archetypes like your Crystal Beasts, like your Ancient Gear Golems, to basically come into Rush Dueling. Fan favourites are going to be coming back, and I cannot wait for this. Plus, we'll get new support for those archetypes that we know and love and have nostalgic memories using. So let me know all your comments and thoughts on this in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it, and I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If so, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and of course, I'll see you next time. Have a great day, alligator, matane, goodbye.